this Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. Hi friends, welcome back to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and if you're new here, I am a mystical relationship coach, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purpose-filled lives. And today we are here to talk about Libra season. Libra season will be taking place between September 22nd and October 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And Libra season will be a much welcome change after the very structured, task-oriented energy of Virgo season. And the one thing to be aware of is that during this Libra season, we will be experiencing Mercury in retrograde in Libra. We're experiencing our Mercury retrogrades in the air signs this year. So it will have us kind of in our heads about things, but it will be things that we need to think about. And for Libra, it will be about our relationships. And so be prepared for a little bit of the stirring of the pot in your relationships. So if there's things that aren't being said or any issues that are being ignored, this Mercury retrograde in Libra could easily bring those up. And Mercury is the planet of communication, so when it's retrograde, there does tend to be some miscommunications happening. And so make sure that you're really being open and honest with those that are closest to you. That's really important. And to double check communications, in the sense of making sure people understand what you mean when you speak to them, when you are communicating with them. So if you feel like there's all of a sudden some tension in your relationship because communication isn't working so well, pause, breathe, don't react. Don't just fly off the handle and be like, well, how could you think that I think that? It's a good time to say, well, wait, I need you to make sure that you're hearing me correctly. Well, wait, can you repeat back to me what you just heard? Because I want to make sure that I'm communicating clearly to you, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page and that you understand what I'm saying to you. So there could be a lot of that stuff coming up for Libra season. So Mercury will be entering retrograde on the 26th, 27th of September, and we've already been in the shadow since the 6th, since the last new moon in Virgo. And then it will go direct October 18th. After November 3rd, we'll be out of the shadow. So a lot of the energy of Libra season will be a focus on our relationships, and very much so it should be focusing on nurturing the relationships that are most important to you. In Virgo season, you should have gotten some grounding, and you should have been able to kind of prioritize yourself and your world a little better. And so hopefully you've kind of realized, maybe there are certain people in your life that you just kind of have drifted apart from each other, and that's okay. And it's just time to focus on the people who want to be in your life, not necessarily the ones who make you kind of feel like a second thought, or the ones that have just decided they don't want to be around you at all. This is definitely a time to review, are we in healthy relationship with ourselves and with each other? And you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. So definitely focus on being with the people that want to be with you, and the people that fill you up with love and light and energy. And we already had some of that with this Pisces full moon. This Pisces full moon right at the end of Virgo season on the 20th, on September 20th, really helped kind of usher in this feeling, this focus on needing to make sure that you are doing things with people or doing activities with yourself that re-energize you, that fill you up with energy, that ignite you, that are the things that remind you of how beautiful life is, and how and why you came to Earth and chose to be human. And that's really going to carry into Libra season. So Libra season for me, I always think of like pink. That's why I'm like wearing my pinks today. I did my more pinky makeup. I have more pinky nails. Like, I love color association with the energies of the seasons. Stone association. I'll probably be wearing my rose quartzes and my pink rhododendrite. I think that's how you say rhododendrite. It's just, a lot of that is because Libra, like Pisces, is the other sign that I feel like really looks at life through rose-colored glasses. You know, there's this, they say that Aquarius is the most evolved air sign, and that Aquarius is usually good about getting in touch with their emotions. I feel like Aquarius is actually better at not letting negative things affect them, and Libra is actually a little bit more on the positive side. They are represented by the scales, so, and they are the only archetype that is not a living thing, which is interesting. And so I have met certain Libras that over the years that are just like, oh, we're boring, or oh, you know, there's just like nothing exciting about us, or they're like, you know, they feel like they have this reputation of being like cold, or too logical, and I just don't find that to be true. All the Libras in my life are some of the most loving people that I've known, and Libra definitely like has a reputation of can be like maybe a little more flighty, or a little bit of an airhead. All air signs kind of have that quality every now and then, especially Gemini and Libra, but Libra is the most forgiving sign I found, like almost to a fault. I feel like I see some of these like loving Libras that are just like such gems of people, and they like don't value themselves enough. They so easily push themselves aside, and that they easily get taken advantage of by those people around them who know that they'll just like say yes and do these things, and that you can just step on them and they'll like eventually take you back. So if you have Libras in your lives, like, don't do that. Show them the same courtesy of forgiveness, because I feel like some Libras aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Libra energy can be not as stable. Like, they can appear to not maybe be as like stable as like an earth sign, but I feel like we should be returning this like courtesy that they give all of us of like acceptance and forgiveness. So whoever the Libras are in your life, like, just try to focus on their good qualities and forgive them when they're, you know, when you're maybe feeling like they're not tapping into their good qualities. Like, we need to hold more space for our Libras, because Libra holds so much space for us without even realizing it. And the energy of them is very diplomatic. They want things to be fair. They're really good at seeing both sides of the situation. Empowered Libras tend to be really strong in themselves, and just kind of like when they see that things aren't going to serve them, or they see that things don't align with them, they're like, don't care, just moving on. And I feel like that really carries into Aquarius, where Aquarians really quickly off the bat are just like, if it's not working for me, like, forget you, I'm not even dealing with it. It takes Libras a little bit longer to be in that strength, but man, once you see them really step into their power, it's like such a beautiful thing. So hug your Libras. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how beautiful they are, because we need them. We really do. And it makes me so sad when I've met Libras in the past. They're like, I'm a Libra, it's boring. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It's just, in society at large, in this world, we so easily write off kindness for weakness, and that they are some of the kindest, most accepting people and most forgiving. So they're here to teach us something. So Libra is represented by Justice in the tarot in the major arcana, and as you can see, Justice is pretty perfect for Libra. We were talking about them being very diplomatic and being able to see both sides of the story, and we have the scales represented here, and then we have the sword representing air. And as you can see, like, I feel like this is a good reminder of like what Libra can be when they're in their full power and strength, and I hope that you got some of that infused into you in Virgo season. This is, all of these seasons have really been leading up to us being in our power and being our unapologetic selves, and now it's time to like really love that. And I think, like, notice that there's like the crown. I just kind of noticed that there's also like the shroud here and the pillars, and that is very reflective of the High Priestess. So even though air signs tend to be very cerebral, remember that we all have intuition, and it's just about how we tap into that differently, and just seeing the signs of when things like feel good or when things feel icky. And so it's the scales. It's like, well, what do I want to give my time and attention to? Like, how is it really making me feel? This Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. The forgiveness that we offer to each other is not always for the other person. Sometimes we have to forgive people for ourselves and for our own peace of mind. Because sometimes the people that we feel like betray us or hurt us, they don't always deserve our energy and our time of like going to them and saying, hey, I really forgive you for doing this thing, especially if they're not like coming to you and being like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Sometimes we have to forgive people without even getting any sort of acknowledgement or apology from that person. When I have to forgive people for myself and I don't have a way of telling them specifically, and forgiveness work takes a long time. Sometimes you can try to forgive people for years, and it just, and sometimes even when you do forgiveness work for those people, it doesn't, sometimes the hurt can be so deep that it's hard to let go. So for yourself, just start practicing this. Don't expect it to happen right away, but a good practice to implement when you're doing forgiveness work is letter writing that you don't send. So I've written a lot of letters to a lot of people that I don't send. A lot of time I burn them in full moon rituals, to just like let it go into the universe, send them, blessings. It's just about turning around the energy so that we're not focusing on this like revenge or ill will or like wanting them to hurt the way that we hurt. It's so easy to do that, and that just brings you into your lower vibrations, and we're better than that. You're better than that. You wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to live a higher vibration life. And I'm trying to live a higher vibration life all the time, but it's a practice. It is not something that you just like reach a higher vibration. You're just like, I'm up here all the time and nothing else bothers me. No, because we're still human. We came here to have human experiences, and human experiences come with the pain and the shadow, and it shows, and we have to experience that so that we can find our light and find the beauty in life in general. So if you have any more questions about forgiveness work or how to do that, please reach out to me. I'm really excited for Libra season. I really was excited for the Pisces full moon because this really speaks to like my calling in life and how I just really want to help us all be in better relationships with each other in the world, and it really starts with having better relationships with ourselves. So if you don't know how to start forgiving other people, maybe write a letter to yourself and forgive yourself about whatever mistakes you might have made in the past, things that you might have treated yourself wrong. There's just, it really starts with you. And so I really implore you to do some sort of forgiveness work during Libra season, whether it's for yourself or for others, or maybe you need to actually speak forgiveness to your partner or your parent or your child or your friend, you know. So there should be lots of opportunities for this, but make sure you're also doing your best to discern where, like, why, like, your motives also behind it. Why do you want to forgive them? Does this person even deserve any of my energy if they are coming to me saying, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I miss you, I want to be back in your life? It's like, well, we got to recognize where am I now? Like, I appreciate it. I let's squash it. But a lot of the time, things change because they're supposed to. Things change because we can't go backwards. And it's really nice to have some nostalgia and some good feelings about things, but we also have to remember our boundaries and remember why certain people just aren't in our lives anymore. And that's okay. And we just want to wish them well and wish them well on their path, because we're all on our own paths too. It's really about focusing on your own path and what you need to heal and to forgive and to live your best life, and how to protect yourself and how to tap into the joy and abundance that is all around you. So I really am sending you so many happy, loving blessings for Libra season. I think it's going to be a really great one. The first day of Libra season is also the autumn equinox, so we're moving into fall here in the northern hemisphere. So I'm really excited for some different energy. It was, you know, it's been an intense couple years. It was an intense summer, and so just give yourself some time and some space. Hold space for yourself, and don't push yourself too far, okay? There's plenty of time for that. This is about being a little gentler and a little more loving with you. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into your taroscopes. Hi, Scorpio. How are you? That was weird. Something just made a weird noise in my office. The ghosts are already coming out to play. Ooh, and things are flipping out. Ooh. Let's see what Libra season has in store for you. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Man, I have not seen the 9 of Pentacles in a while. So it's interesting because we're talking about how Libra season is going to be about a lot about our relationships, and ultimately how our relationships with others start with our relationships with ourselves. And this feels a little similar to the vibes with Libra. If you have some Libra in your chart, go watch the Libra video also. But this is a little different. It just kind of feels like you might not be like treating yourself enough is part of it. The 9 of Pentacles is kind of bougie. It is about luxury, and it is can also be about control. And as Scorpios, we really like to be in control, don't we? So I definitely would maybe, it's with it in reverse though, it really feels like you could be prioritizing yourself a little bit more, your self-care, maybe not feeling guilty for splurging a little bit on yourself, and also like recognizing where you might be trying to control things. Are you trying to control things around you that you are really not in your control? Are you trying to control people around you? Because we can't control people as much as we would like to. And I just feel like also when it comes to like the self-care and spending money thing, there's just something about like guilt and shame and not feeling that for treating yourself with things that you probably need. And this is actually like speaking to me too as a Scorpio, because I'm just like, man, I probably really need a massage and we can't afford it right now, but I might be trying to like find a little space on a credit card to go do that because my body needs it. So it's like things like that where It's like, yeah, maybe you don't necessarily need it, but man, would it do some like huge things for you, for your well-being. And it's I like that this card came up too, because it feels like you're moving forward a little bit too, because I know that like the Eight of Pentacles came up a lot in this last few seasons for a lot of people, and that's all about like self-mastery, and this is like moving the self-mastery to self-care. So I'm really curious to see what's next, how this is going to build on this. Ooh, hello. Justice, Libra, Libra season. So there is something about like, there is this more of this energy of letting go, and it's starting with the Pisces full moon on the 20th, and it's moving into Libra season, and that I feel like you've been dedicating a lot to like your self-mastery and your self-worth and your self-care, and you've just been like working on a lot of stuff. However, there needs to be a balance of the work and the play, and the balance of like the dedication and the relaxation. And so it feels like they really want you to now it's time to like find just a little bit more play, a little bit more luxury, a little bit more like leisure. Like you need to tap into your lady or lord or liege of leisure in order to balance it out, to have a little rest, a little respite, more like it. And you know, I've been talking about a lot of this like expansive and contraction energy, and we've been expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting. In Virgo, we were kind of contracting, and in Libra season and into Scorpio season even too, it definitely feels like we're playing with both at this point, and we're really figuring out when those times are of when you need to expand and contract, when you need to be out in the world, when you need to be in with yourself. And it's really about like with Libra season, there's like this element of discernment and putting the power in your hands to discern when the right time is for you to do these things. And it just feels like they're giving you some permission to like splurge a little bit, like buy yourself that nice thing. Like I just had to retire a shirt that I wear a lot to like the pajama drawer, because the shirt, I was like really looking at it, I was like, I've had this for a few years, and now there's like grease spots on it, there's a little like bleach spots on it, because I still do a little hair here and there, and I do and I wear natural deodorant that has like hemp oil in it. So there's just like, I looked at it, I was like, I should not be wearing this in public anymore. And it felt like, I don't know, because I can't afford new clothes right now, sort of thing. But I have plenty of clothes, so like one shirt's not a thing. But also it's like, I haven't bought myself a lot of clothing in the last few years, and we need clothes to wear, you know what I mean? So if you've been holding back from treating yourself a little bit and doing a little extra, like I feel like there's just some permission to like treat yourself a little bit more and do a little extra. Next we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is great because I feel like the Knight of Wands is very adventurous. It's definitely a fire sign, and it's almost like have you been holding back from trying something new too? Something that you've been really thinking about wanting to go do? Or are you like missing something? Something that you had to stop doing because of the pandemic, because of life choices, because of, you know, life just happening? What have you been missing that you need to reconnect to? And it's actually, you used to do it all the time and you used to love it, and now you're like, I wanna go do that again, but it just like feels weird. I'm in a different place. Is it gonna be the same? Like, how am I gonna re-enter? And I feel like they're really nudging you to like take these steps. Like, it just feels like these steps forward to, like, get out there a little bit, to go do this thing, to go, you know, go reconnect with yourself, go reconnect with the people you love, go treat yourself a little bit more. Have, you know, relax. If you can't go anywhere, like, relax outside, so you're not looking at all, like, the things in the piles around your house that are, you're just, like, staring at, that are making you feel like you need to be doing something. There's a part of Libra season where the Pisces full moon's kind of getting us more into our flow. It's just like a little bit more airy, a little lighter. It's a lightening up after Virgo season. And so, like, what do you need to do to just lighten up? It's so easy for you, Scorpio, to get, like, in your feels and get down into the nitty gritty of it, into the shadow. And it's really easy for you to, like, get dedicated to your goals and to be really working on it. And we're all in different places, because trust me, I get, like, obsessive about my work sometimes, and then sometimes I just, like, ignore it for a week because there's, like, other stuff going on. But this is, like, it's more of a purposeful, restorative, regenerative action. You know, like, my mom wants to go see the colors change, and we were like, oh, great, we can go on the autumn equinox. That would be a great day to do it. And even though I want to go do this, and we made the plans, and that's what's happening, I had, like, an internal struggle about it. It was like, well, should I go, like, take a day and do this, because there's all these things, I feel really behind, and do this thing, like, and I just have to stop myself and be like, stop, man. Like, I'm working all this week, and the weekend, I was like, I'm talking to myself, and you deserve to go do something else. Go, like, just get out of the house. Like, go do something. Go do something you haven't done in a while. That's really what it feels like, because it's one of those things that when you feel like you're not doing the work, you're still doing the work. It's still part of the work. This is about balancing out the grind with the flow. Okay? Like, you need both, and you need to be able to access each when you are ready for it. Okay, well, just glancing a little bit further down, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. So there's a lot going on here again. So I feel like the Knight of Swords in reverse is really validating that discernment, and there's a piece of it of, please excuse the dog scratching at the door. There's a part of the Knight of Swords in reverse where it's like, really, you got to think before you speak, and even think before you act. But I feel like too that this is like a get out of your head and kind of like more into your heart. And also there will be some parts of you that are needing to like walk away from things that no longer serve you. And then at the same time, you're defending the things that you've built up. There's a lot of going on here for you, Scorpio. You should be good at walking away from things. You should be good at cutting things off. And you should be good at like defending yourself. And also just like, there's a part of it too where it just makes me feel like you need to like not even bother. The Seven of Wands I call the haters card, and so with this like walking away piece and the haters card, and there's also like the Knight of Swords in reverse, it's like, if you gotta walk away, just walk away. You don't have to say anything. It's really feeling like you just need to like be done. If that person is not coming to you and being like, why is this happening, or you know, whatever the situation is, you don't have to say anything. Don't waste your breath. It's really feeling like, don't waste your breath. You gotta focus. This is the time to focus on yourself and focus on how you're gonna feel good. And you trying to like justify to somebody why their behavior wasn't okay or why you can't be around them anymore is just going to be a waste. And you need to be like back in and just in this like protectiveness of what you're doing, or protectiveness of what you've built and what you've established for yourself and for your life. You've been doing all the work, so go reward yourself. Stop wasting time with the people that aren't worth your time and energy. I can't say it enough, especially for Libra season. For sure. Okay, let's pull you a postcard from Spirit by Collette Baron-Reid. I just love these so much. The back of the card says, "You are magic. You are magic." You know that, Scorpio. Dearest you, we know everything in the universe is perfect, even in its flaws, and we view the creations of spirit in total awe. All is unique, yet part of a unity of existence, but the human experience is a little different from ours. You tend to have a specific standard for what you consider ideal, and this isn't serving you right now. So forget your idea of perfection and see through our eyes, allowing things to be as they are without judgment. Don't wait until a perfect moment or mood to start something. Instead, enter life with all its flawsomeness, like full of flaws and awesomeness. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Complex, I skipped. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Let others be who they are, imperfect and human, complex or simple. It doesn't matter, for there is always something to discover, experience, and love. When you drop the need for an ideal, you uncover the real treasure, which will be far more interesting and valuable. Loving you like crazy. Us Scorpios need that crazy love, and this is, oh my gosh, what a beautiful cherry on top. Like, it speaks to, you know, the sense of control and perfectionism, and the sense of like needing to let some of that go, and also the need to just like let things be where they are. Like, that was that last little piece there where it's just like, just let it be. Just stop wasting your energy on those things that aren't aligned for you. There's so much other things to focus on, and you need to start by treating yourself to something good to remind you how good and valuable and deserved you are and how beautiful your life is. Okay? All right, Scorpio, I love you. You are beautiful, and I'll see you for our season, Scorpio season. I'll see you for Scorpio season. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all of your support. I'm sending you so much love. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. Share with a friend. Go follow things at Meryl's Mystic on pretty much all platforms. And join me for my lives on Facebook and Instagram. My lives for October will be the 1st, the 15th, and then I will be doing a live for Halloween Samhain on the 31st. And I'll see you soon. Bye.